Hello everybody and welcome to the Gaming Rigs web chat. This is a web show weekly we do called the Gaming Nights of the Round Table. Each week we pretty much meet up on a Sunday night with the Gaming Rig staff, the fans. We generally discuss topics of interest. Today mostly being towards games that annoy you, which I think is quite a good little topic. I think it would be quite a fun little night as well. You can find us at www.TheGamingRigUK, Facebook.com/TheGamingTGR, and Twitter.com/TGR_UK. All of everything I just said will be online for us anyway, and in the comments box and everything like that. So to start us away, a little blurb. Video games are a great way to evoke a number of emotions and responses. I think you'd all agree. Whether there be things like upset, laughter, annoyance, which we're concentrating on, frustrations and happiness. I mean, today really we'll be looking at annoyance with a level of anger thrown in, and maybe some tongue-in-cheek humour as well as a few rants, because I imagine a few of you have a few games or pet peeves that do annoy you. So really, off the bat, we'll go straight into it. Craig Stringer, just really, if you can tell us a little about yourself, that'd be good. And
I'm Craig. I'm 25. I'm also known as MSS Race Driver on the Xbox. Currently playing Call of Duty Black Ops far too much, and that pretty much sums it up, to be honest with you.
And you're a fan of the site? What
I am a fan of the site. It's a good site. I love the reviews. They're honest. People aren't getting paid to lie about the games, which is great.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, the competitions are good too.
Oh really? Okay. Some good prizes on offer, you think?
Chance to win some Haribo. No one's going to turn down any Haribo, are they? Let's be honest.
And because you're obviously a new fan that's joining us, I mean, we've had Toby in before, and he's asked to join us again. And say we've got 10 slots available. As long as we got the spots, the fans can always join us. So, what do you feel about this sort of idea? I
think it's a good idea. I mean, obviously, you can get the fans involved, you get their feedback. It's nice to hear other people's points of view as well, because they can get their opinions across and everything.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, then moving on to James of the Gaming Rig. Just tell us a little about yourself, please.
I'm Jim. I'm a reviewer for TGR. Mostly on anything that tickles my fancy. Try and mix PC and console. And I'm just here to have a good rant.
Fair enough. Get some pent out frustrations, I think, out of the way. And your favourite game at the moment this week?
Favourite game at the moment? Well, I've been trying to go through the whole Mass Effect 3 trilogy, sorry. And it's bringing up some good old memories.
Not a bad little trilogy there, not a bad little trilogy. As we probably discussed and probably will discuss as future goes on, there's quite a lot of controversy around the ending there.
Yeah, a lot.
We'll get into that. Okay, next one. Matthew, please introduce yourself. Matthew?
Matthew's dead.
Matthew? Okay, I think we're having a few technical issues. As you can probably tell, Google Hangout is kind of the name we use because it is kind of a hangout. We do get connections issues sometimes, and to be fair, people drop in and drop out. It's quite relaxed, but I hope as fans you enjoy it really. Moving on then, we'll go on to Ryan. There we go. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 26 years old. I'm having quite a long time. Particularly like the download kind of things, like the XBLA, those sort of little games. And yeah.
So what's your favourite game this week then?
Favourite game this week is Tribal Sword. I've kind of chalked up 30 hours on it, and it's ruining my life ever so slightly.
Fair enough.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
And you work for the site? You want to tell the fans
Yeah,
about
sure. I'm crap at this. Yeah, I do reviews for the site. I've written a review of Nights in Dream, but as I'm moving house at the moment, my input has been quite minimal for the time being. But I'm looking to get some more reviews maybe next year as well.
Yeah, I'm Toby. I'm 24. How old am and I am mainly playing Preparating at the moment, actually, in Miracle Mask. I usually am a bit of a Nintendo geek, so I'm limited to Nintendo. But yeah, that's me.
Cool. And Matthew, are you back?
Good evening. Right.
Okay, you want to
so,
tell us a little about yourself?
Right, sorry. My name's Matthew. I write for the Gaming Rig as one of the lead reviewers. I've been gaming since I was about 5 years old. When my internet's not being a complete idiot, I usually go on PC gaming, but I've also a little bit of console gaming every now and then. Recently, I've been playing Broken Sword for the first time. Little old point-and-click adventure game. It's classic, entertaining, but also infuriating, and it kind of shows how point-and-click adventures changed over time. But I've been having fun with it.
That's good. It's always good to play back the retro ones and still have that enjoyment. Because I tend to go back before games and I don't remember it being so crap, really, is the best word for it. I was just like,
That's
wow,
true.
I played this? So, yeah, it's a lot, I guess, like ex-relationships in a way, isn't it? But generally speaking, thanks for all of everybody coming on tonight. It's going to be, I say, pretty relaxed and hopefully a bit of fun. I guess why not? My name's Alan. I'm kind of the creator of the Gaming Rig. It's kind of an idea. A couple of months back, I got tired of working for just the man. I got a great friend set around me, lots of skill sets, and I kind of band together to put them all together and put ourselves together as the Gaming Rig. And I'd like to think it's more of a blog and a way to people to voice their opinions. And because at the end of the day, we're gamers, we pay a lot of money for our games, we matter just as much as the big companies, especially countries as well, UK, USA, and everything like that. Gaming is a big industry, so that's kind of why I put it out there to kind of just really build a community and see where it all goes. So if you do enjoy us, enjoy the videos, come along, www.TheGamingRig.co.uk. The Facebook, Twitter links, everything will be around. So we're trying to get out there to all the social means possible. So yeah, do come along if you like us. Okay, so moving on then. So we're going to start this off. I kind of chose this topic, games that annoy you, because personally speaking, and I'm going to have a go first, I kind of annoyed at some games. I mean, personally, I'm pretty pissed off at the Dead Space franchise right now. Right, the reason why is because I get it. You would change the way it plays. You change, as the industry grows along. But unlike the likes of Resident Evil 6, which changed for a reason and become popularity because of it, and it's not a brilliant game really, it's an okay game, but it's good fun. Dead Space started out advertising itself as the last survival horror. I remember the hype behind it. It was just like, this is going to be the best survival horror. There are no survival horror games around anymore. We're going to bring in horror directors to do this. And all this hype, and now Dead Space 3, I played it, and you've become the devil yourself. You become the industry, you become the game you set out not to be. And that's what pisses me off the most, is the fact, stick by your convictions, grow some balls, and be a survival horror. Because we have hardcore fans that don't just want to play Resident Evil, Call of Duty. We want survival horror. And we shouldn't just have to go to our PCs to do that. We should get it from a console. So, yeah, so to me to start off, that really is getting my goat up at the moment. So,
oh my god.
Yeah, so maybe you agree, maybe you don't agree. Comment on the, in YouTube. Come over and Facebook, Twitter, and comment. Even ask to join one of our web chats and tell us you don't agree yourself. But that's my general consensus: is grow some balls, stick to your convictions. Okay, so we'll then go over to some fans then. So Craig, what's a game that really has got your boat, whether recently or in the past?
Oh, it was a little while ago. The game that really annoyed me, I think, was Split Second when that first come out. I think it was a good concept, but it was so infuriating. I just couldn't. You just wanted to smash your controller up every time.
Was that the sort of Burnout game by Disney Studios? That
yeah, where you can blow up buildings and stuff to slow people down, and it just didn't. It was a good concept, but it didn't quite work.
I really can't meet some Modern Warfare.
I really liked Split Second. I thought it was really good.
It was a good game. It just infuriated the fuck out of me.
Just want to drop an entire building on your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying, but that's kind of the point, though. I think it's meant to make you feel that kind of anger. I think it's meant to irritate you in that way, because that's the whole competitive element of it. It's like, you just overtook me, gonna drop a building on your car. And
yeah, it worked pretty well from that sense.
Yeah, I mean,
why did you feel really annoyed with it?
You'd be ahead for ages, and then they'd just drop a building on you and demolish you completely. So you'd be right back at the back of the pack, and it just shouldn't work that way. I like Forza. It's good.
Forza doesn't let me drop a building on someone.
I can see where the fun would come in dropping buildings on people. It was quite fun to start with. Then when they started dropping buildings on me, I didn't like it very much. I'm a bit of a sore loser.
At least you're honest. You're honest. So any more, or is that one that really comes to mind?
Call of Duty annoys me a little bit, but that's because I suck at it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not
There's
extremely
a few
good.
people in this chat that Call of Duty annoys them for very other reasons, but I'm guessing we'll get into that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really think there's many other games that have annoyed me that much, to be honest. Mainly Split Second.
So what happened in the end? Did you end up chucking the game in the bin? Did you
No,
stop playing?
I managed to not kill my controller, so I was quite happy about that. But I did trade the game in as soon as I got as many achievements out of it as possible.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah, never again. I won't even entertain the thought of buying it.
If you were given to it as a gift, what would you do?
Sorry?
If somebody gave it to you as a gift, what would you do?
I'd snap it in half. I'd snap the disc.
Wow, okay. Remind me to take that off your Christmas list. Alright,
Yeah,
James.
please do.
Moving on. What game has really recently or over the in the past got your goat up?
What?
What game has really annoyed you?
Alright, I would have to say probably Monster Hunter Tri.
And reasons?
You'd fuck up my score.
Because it's a similar principle to Dark Souls, in that you cannot play the game as you want to. You have to play it in their predetermined. You will change your class halfway through and change your playstyle, but it gets to a point where the learning curve, or the difficulty curve for that matter, is so dramatically steep that it just takes a piss. Right? Like I was playing the game for maybe 2 hours before I could actually get into it. Right? Then I had a solid 4 or 5 hours of absolutely loving it. Right? It blew my mind for a while, and then suddenly I just hit this brick wall where I was just thinking, you are taking the piss. The missions are usually an hour long. If you die at all in any of that time, you have to start all over, and you tend to die within the last minute. Or, if you're really lucky, you've got the big beastie that you've been hunting down to maybe 1% health, and then suddenly, tick-tock, bang, and you're just like, you're fucking kidding me, right?
Just let him do it, he'll do it.
And what was the examples of the frustrations there then? Did you snap your controller and laugh, or?
Well, I've gone through about 2 different Wii nunchucks. And on a whole, I ended up just saying, you know what, bugger this. I promised myself I would complete it, but I went, nope. This is going towards getting me some KFC.
Right, okay. and any more to talk of, or was that one that sticks in your mind?
It sticks in my mind. Another one was more of, the game didn't annoy me, but its marketing annoyed me, was Dark Souls.
Right. Why did the marketing annoy you?
Because they make it out to be this dramatically difficult game, where you will. I mean, their tagline was "Prepare to die," right? But it's a game that isn't actually hard. It's what's the word, like, punishing. If you do lose, you lose all your shit. Right.
Okay.
Right. So you could have.
That has like the XCOM motive where you can lose. You don't you can lose the whole game. You can.
No. You can't lose the whole game, so to speak. But it's even worse. You lose all the shit you worked for. Right? I mean, and the worst part is, it's always on the most insignificant things. Right? I've been playing maybe an hour, 2 hours between my last checkpoint, so to speak, thing. I'd amassed something like 100,000 of the main game currency and 10 of the rare currency. And then I fell off a ledge trying to get to more money. And I thought, alright, that's fine, because you have a chance, a single life, to reclaim your lost loot before it all goes. But here's the thing, is the loot had spawned in some really obscure, like, hand grip on top of a cliff that I had to try and shimmy along to grab, and I just before grabbing it, slide down, and I ended up having the neighbours banging on the door because how much I was screaming at the TV.
I don't think I've ever had anybody banging the door because I'm making too much noise on the video game.
I was literally like, you fucking...
Oh, bless you.
I blew my lid.
And any more? And any
It's
more?
not-
Or?
The thing that annoyed me though wasn't the difficult thing, because that's what sells it. It was the thing that annoyed me was how they sold it as this incredibly hard game, but it's not. I mean, once you get into the rhythm of it, it's actually pretty easy. I don't like games lying to me. Kind of like what you were getting on with Dead Space.
I don't think it lied to me per se. I just think you start out, and Dead Space 1 was a good game, and people may agree, may not agree. I enjoyed it. Dead Space 2, again, good, really good DLC. And then Dead Space 3, and they're like, oh, we're giving you co-op partner. So, you know, and to me personally, you don't have a horror game with somebody else. It's a horror game. You psychologically connect to it that you fucked if you got a monster chasing you. You ain't got your friend to bail you out. You know, the old style Resident Evil worked on that premise. And because they've seen that, okay, because Dead Space didn't sell probably like as much as they thought it did, it doesn't mean you've got to throw it out and become Resident Evil Call of Duty. It's just like, seriously, stick to your convictions, grow some balls. That's how I would redesign their cover for them, basically, if I could, for Dead Space 3. And I'll put it on the shelves. Alright, okay, well, thank
I'm sure
you.
that would sell.
Sorry?
I'm sure that would sell.
Oh, bloody big word.
Grow some balls.
Alright, Matthew, and you? Game that's annoyed you?
There are several I could name, so I'm just going to say lazy games.
Okay, go on then.
Here's an example. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, wasn't a lazy game. It was a really good game, new style, new way of doing it, and made online multiplayer the thing to do for consoles. Halo helped, Modern Warfare made it. We are now on the third consecutive year of a Call of Duty game, with little to no innovation, little to no improvement. It's just, oh, but now there's a different map which has a different building in it, and this gun is like the other gun but slightly different because it's a different colour and it shoots different bullets. It's games like that which aren't helping. And there's even lazy, probably even worse than that, is stuff like has anyone played Call of Juarez the Cartel?
No.
No.
Good. There's a good reason why you should never play this game.
I've heard all about it.
It's made by the same people that made Dead Island, which was okay.
Yeah.
But the only problem with Call of Juarez is that it's not content with being just a shitty FPS game. It also has to be a racist, sexist, shitty game. It's a game about the drug wars in Mexico, which is kind of a big deal. Lots of people have died in a war which isn't really talked about. And they had the chance to make a game about it, and what did they do? Oh, we'll just put in these bland, generic racist shoot-em-up sections. It's terrible. When you have a game which is giving you achievements for specifically killing people of a certain ethnicity, you're playing the wrong game.
Is it basically what would happen if Jim Davidson wrote a western?
No, it's not even that. It's if Jim Davidson was trying to make a serious crime film.
That's one problem I had with it. I wouldn't pick it up because the previous ones were westerns, and this one decided that it's like fucking 24.
Yeah.
It's good. It's such a bad game. Lazy games like that really don't help anyone, and all they do is serve to piss me off.
Yeah.
Okay, so good examples. Any more there, Matt, or are you happy with?
No, I'll keep with that. I think lazy games pretty much covers most things.
And
Dead
you mean the
Space
ones
3,
that are just
lazy
spawned
game.
every single year just for money?
Yeah,
Okay.
those ones. The filth.
Lazy.
Okay, Ryan?
XCOM Anyone Known was pretty good.
I loved it, but it was lazy.
Eh,
They could have
Fair
done
enough.
more.
they could have done more.
They could always
Same
do.
way Shinda could have.
Okay, Ryan.
Oh, okay. First of all, a couple of warnings. I'm going to do this using as many sound effects as possible. Second of all, this opinion is not going to make me very popular, but the worst game series I've ever encountered is Elder Scrolls. Fuck off.
Right, go on then.
Here's why. Right. Let me chronicle for you. Let me set the scene. Let me chronicle for you, like, my experience with the Elder Scrolls, right?
Paint us a picture with words.
No. I was going to use Miss Bear, but I'm just going to tell you the story. First one I played was Morrowind, or as I like to call it, World of Brown. And I borrowed it off a friend in college. And like I set off, and these people were like, "You need to go and visit the Guild of People." And I was like, "All right." So I'm walking off to the Guild of People, and like I'm getting attacked by worms, and I've got this sword. And like, there's something very, very wrong with an RPG if, you've got to kind of get this sense of fulfillment, this sense of progression. But if I can't hit worms with a sword that feels like wet cardboard, then there's something very wrong with your combat system. If I then, out of sheer boredom and despair, decide to leap off a cliff and kill myself, I don't expect to receive agility points for it. It's like, it literally flashed up, like, "You have died. Congratulations, you received 72 agility points." Like, what? Did you playtest this fucking shit? So, like, a few years later, I went to university, and my university friend had Oblivion, and he was like, "This game's amazing, you've got to play Oblivion." Let me give you a brief rundown of my first hour with Oblivion. I come out of the jail, that's fine. It gives me a tutorial on how to use the thumbsticks, but not on how the RPG mechanics work, which is completely backwards to me. I get out, and I'm told, "You need to go to Kvatch and rescue this knight for reasons, basically."
I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, because of gameplay. I was like, alright. So I hop to my horse, I'm going over to Kvatch, and I go through this portal to hell, and on the other side there's this knight. And he's like, "Ah, brave adventurer, you are sworn to protect me. Be careful, there's lava around here." In order to demonstrate how dangerous the lava was, he then runs head fucking first into the lava, and I fail the mission. I was like, right, let's give this another go. So I load it back up. I stand like as close to the edge of the lava as possible, so I can twat him with a sword if he gets too close to the edge. And I somehow managed to like funnel him through the level. And then we get to this kind of valley, and he says, "Be careful, there are rock slides around here." And as if to demonstrate just how dangerous those rock slides were, he decided to run head first into the first one. So at which point, in order to fulfill this mission, I ejected the disc from the tray and threw it at my flatmate and told him he was like worse than Jimmy Savile. So the Elder Scrolls games are just, they're buggy, they're soulless, the combat's a piece of shit, and I just feel like any success in that game is a war of attrition. There's no skill involved. It's basically the bigger number such and such a skill is, the longer your virtual penis is, and that's pretty much all I have to say about the Elder Scrolls.
Staff of Strength.
Yeah, exactly, the Staff of Strength. It can fuck off.
Brilliant. Very good. Very good.
You can tell I practiced that, can't you?
Possibly.
Really? Never. Brilliant, though. Very good. And are you open to taking in comments or feedback for people that might argue your case?
No, they're wrong. I've heard them all before. Like the one I've heard is like when I'm complaining about how shit the combat is. A lot of people say, "Oh, you chose the wrong character class," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Was that the first mission? I missed that one." Like, if that's the first challenge of the game, don't fuck up on the character select screen, then maybe you're not the game for me. But it can fuck off. I hate the Elder Scrolls series so much.
I think the bugs are probably the most endearing thing about it.
But this annoys me as well. Like, if the game comes out with a bug, people are like, hey, very good, why didn't they playtest this game? The developers should be shot. When Oblivion comes out, or an Elder Scrolls game comes out, everyone's like, oh, those wacky bugs.
Well, the thing is...
No, here's the thing, right? Like, you know, you get bugs in other games where, I don't know, a character just dies for no reason. Elder Scrolls are just batshit crazy, like someone's head flies off into the sun and explodes.
Flying mammoths.
Yeah.
Or my personal favourite, dragons swan diving into a puddle and never returning.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, they're funny, but they're so glaring. How could the developers not look at that and go, yeah, it's probably fix that? Like, you go in Oblivion and there's a dragon stood at the bottom of the lake and he's got half of his head stuck in the scenery and for no reason whether he's shitting trees.
It's their trademark!
Somebody over at the developer goes, yeah, we don't need to change that, that's fine, that's minor, that won't ruin the immersion of this gigantic world that we've created. Stick it in.
I honestly think they do it as a trademark. I remember playing Fallout New Vegas.
I love being able to slide down the side of a cliff.
Who doesn't?
I'm getting agility points for it.
I pickpocketed some random raider, and I shit you not, all of his limbs fell off. He dismantled before my eyes, and you know what? This immersed me into the scenario. If there was a post-apocalyptic world where, you know, shit had gone this crazy, I think that's the sort of thing that would happen.
I wouldn't want to live in that
pocket and
world.
their limbs would fall off.
Yeah.
You stick a grenade in their
What's
pocket.
that gonna happen?
No, I didn't.
Unless everyone dies
just
separately.
collapse.
What part of this world are you going to pickpocket and limbs are going to fall off?
Exactly, it's like...
Do you
oh,
have
man,
any
this
understanding
world's
of
crazy.
leprosy?
At any moment, my limbs could fall off, but not to worry. Let's go out pickpocketing.
Hell yeah. So made it for me.
Brilliant.
I spent
Okay.
more time cocking about in Fallout than actually playing Fallout.
That wasn't cocking about. That was glitches.
I mean, I won't say defined it because I kind of agree with games that are buggy and they still release them. I do think to myself, it's been in for development 10 years. What have you been fucking doing?
Yeah.
But anyway, can you not argue these worlds are so big and immersive? You're gonna get fuck ups.
I mean, I think that's
The world we live in.
I understand that, but I mean, I think it's incredible. I will give them credit there. Like the Elder Scrolls games, they are able to make these massive worlds and like give them an ecosystem and everything. But at some point, you've got to step back and accept, like, we don't have the technology to support this world. This is a very glitchy game, and you know, whenever I go through an Elder Scrolls game, I can feel that. It's like you go to a Victorian pier and you get on the roller coaster and you think this is going to fall apart at any minute.
In fairness, I've still got quests on my Skyrim list that I've done, but it says that I haven't. It's extremely annoying. Why can't they just fix it?
Because it doesn't want you to leave.
Because
have to
Elder
stay.
Scrolls. Because Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
That should go up in lights as the new slogan.
Maybe they'll offer it as downloadable content.
Once I think the sixth month mark passes on a game, they don't care about that game anymore.
Absolutely.
They're not going to release any more patches. You're going to get subsided DLC. I think once the hype dies down, they're on to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is bad as a gamer, though. In a way, we do get treated like that.
I don't know. I mean, Mass Effect 3's been getting quite a good sort of fan service, considering how long it's been out and how they are still releasing
There's a few.
DLCs.
I will give it. There are a few, but
They have plans for another 4 months.
there are a few there. But what I'm saying, the general gist seems to be after a certain cut-off mark, that's it.
I get that.
Now,
Yeah.
you see the petitions about please fix this. I mean, look how long it took them to port over to PS3.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan of PS3. Like, I love my heart, like Xbox to the day I die, and that's probably going to go against me. I'm going in a massive flame war. Oh, bloody hell, I'm the witchcraft, whatever. But regardless of that, they should have got that. Or if they didn't get that, what they should have got was maybe some acknowledgement that, okay, you'll get a DLC before Xbox or something. Do you know, something in the lines of okay, we're fucking up. Instead of that, though, they just literally press release. It's not coming yet. Press release.
The reason they don't is because we pay for Xbox Live.
Well, no,
That's
I know.
why
There's
we
a
get
between Bethesda and Xbox. I know that Microsoft there is. But what I'm trying to say, they make it sound like they care, but at the end of the day, it is a business. So, do they really care?
Sony don't give a shit.
Other
They've
companies
probably
don't
killed
either.
at least 6 babies.
Sorry?
They've probably killed at least 6 babies.
Oh wow. So,
I suppose it's more our fault though.
working out whether I'm going to be keeping that one in there. Thanks for that, Ryan. Okay, Toby. Toby,
Hello.
you're up, my friend. Game that has annoyed you.
It's more of a thing actually, more than an actual game. But one of the main things is probably camera angles. I mean, if you can't see where you're going, then that is one of the most annoying things in the game ever. Probably the worst one I've experienced would be in Epic Mickey 1 and 2 now. Because there's parts where you have to fly somewhere across a gorge or some kind of gap, and then the camera just decides, oh hello, I'm just going to swap and look at your face. So you can't see ahead of you anymore. So you don't know where you're going. So that is definitely one of the most annoying things ever. And similar to Matthew as well, the lazy games in, well, it's just not so much lazy, the games where you have to kind of make the game yourself. So things like Scribblenauts on the DS, and well, there's a new one coming out on the Wii U. You basically have to. It's good in the creative sense because you have to think about think for yourself, and you basically type anything you want into the little dictionary, and then it'll appear.
But you don't really, because there's stuff you need to do, and if you don't type the right thing, then technically it's not creative, because it's just like it's the most convoluted game I've ever played, to be honest. It'd be like, take the gorilla, pick up the pineapple, and then drop it off at the dragon. Yay, level complete!
Yeah.
How the fuck was I supposed to work that out without sitting there for like an hour? What does this do?
Yeah, yeah. You can do it in different ways, obviously. So it just depends where your imagination goes, as it were.
Evidently, I suppose.
And
Evidently, AJ.
Sorry?
I was going to say, evidently AJ has never had a zombie Princess Zelda being eaten by a Tyrannosaurus. Right, that's where the fun is.
Look, yeah.
I know, but I wouldn't want to pay. I wouldn't want to pay full price just to see that. I would just draw a picture. Not that I would draw it, if I can't. And also today, actually, I was actually playing Far Cry 3 with a friend, and I did notice the enemies, they're like invincible. I was blowing them up with grenades and they did not die. Like, if you're shooting a grenade at a person, they're supposed to die. They can't just bounce off and think, yeah, I'm going to run at you anyway. So, and the, oh, what was it? There was something else I was doing as well. I ended up under a bridge somehow. I got stuck under this bridge, and I don't even know how I got there. I just fell off, and I couldn't get out. And I was like, what's going on? And then if you're in co-op, when you move away from your partner, it gives you 10 seconds to go back to where they are, basically. So it's split screen, but you're not allowed to walk away from them. Otherwise, it kills you. No, it doesn't just spawn you to their spot, it kills you. I mean, I've never come across a game that kills you if you don't stick to your partner.
Maybe
I
the
get
idea
it.
is...
If they want to spawn you to the same spot, that's fine. But I think killing, that's a bit harsh. Because then you have to wait for them to die so you can come back in.
I suppose, I don't know if a game, but I don't know if you agree, is when you co-op with somebody. I like this doesn't go out to anybody. I know, this is kind of experience as life, people I probably don't even speak to anymore. When you co-op with a friend, that's shit.
Yeah.
That's got to be up there, one of the most annoying things. Come on.
I don't mind doing it.
And then they turn around and they come up with the most daft idea in the world. Let's play Halo on Legendary. Yeah. Brilliant. You're going to die every single fucking second, and I'm left picking up the pieces.
What you mentioning that, Sonia's currently playing Call of Duty Online, and she's doing really well.
Women have an aptitude for it. That might be an episode one day, guys. Girl gamers, guy gamers. We'll see what happens. If anybody's interested, let us know. We'll start with you again, Craig. Franchises and companies that annoy you.
Franchises, the Fable franchise.
Oh.
I played Fable 2 and it was okay. And then I thought, okay, Fable 3's coming out. I enjoyed the second one, played the third and was extremely disappointed with the overall work on the game. It was just a massive disappointment. It was just a money maker. Absolute money maker.
And what was your experience ruined by it then? What was? Because obviously you went from 2 to 3. What was the big difference for you?
Just didn't feel like there was much movement on the game at all. Weren't as many improvements as I thought there was going to be. It's a bit like the Call of Duty franchise as well. You know, there's not massive improvements with the Call of Duty franchise from year to year. This one, Black Ops 2.
With Fable as well is Peter Molyneux is his own worst enemy.
Yeah,
that man. I'm doing it. James is going to get annoyed because he loves the man. But that man could sell ice to an Eskimo and deliver them salt. That man seriously is the god of hype and not delivering.
He might be the Antichrist.
No, I
don't think so.
I believe he is.
I do not think Molyneux at all. He's incredibly pretentious. Like, have you seen this new thing he's got called Curiosity?
The other franchise, I guess, that's annoyed me a bit is the Need for Speed one.
Oh, go on then. Why?
Underground was good. The first couple of Underground games were good, and then they went really crap, really fast. I've only just bought. I can't even remember what one it's called. That's how much I played it.
Have you released Most Wanted?
So. Yeah, I think that's the one that I've got.
Had years ago.
Craig,
and it weren't too bad.
Please, Craig, play Fable 1. The others are so much more bollocks than it. Fable 2 is, finding a pound coin on the floor. Right? Fable 3 is you find a pocket full of 2p coins. Right? Fable 1 is flaming naked ladies smothered in chocolates.
Flaming?
Yes, flaming, because
things on fire. Fun.
Flaming things are so much cooler than anything else.
Yeah, but they'd all be burnt and mangled, and then they'd all have, like, flesh on them.
Yeah, but they're covered in chocolate.
Yep, so therefore, they're fondue chicks.
I don't think I like the sound of that at all, sir.
I think that's it for my input on this, though, for now. You can move on to someone else if you want.
I think we've very much killed it for a combo after fondue chicks. And with that, my lovely my viewers, I don't know, probably 2 of you on YouTube by the time this comes out. Thank you for watching, by the way. We're on to James's input, which I dread to think is franchises and companies that annoy you.
Well, there's quite a few I could go for. Right, I could just spam a whole bunch of names in a row, but I'm going to start off with the Final Fantasy entirety.
Okay.
Right, because
a lot.
the thing is, their biggest hits, we can all admit it was 7.
Yeah.
Right.
9.
And it was from then that they kind of got a bit cocky. And somewhere between 7 and Final Fantasy 42, they decided that you know what? People don't want to play games. No, they want to watch movies.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Right, and Final Fantasy 13 absolutely blew my fucking mind with the option of auto battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, they actually give you an option of saying, well, this is really a hard workout for your thumbs. You sit down. We'll take care of this for you. Right. Why don't you just marvel in our wonderful pixel action? Right? Why are they still making games for a starter? Because they just started to cash in on trying to make the movies for, like, Final Fantasy VII whatever bollocks. And
I'd see that.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's not called Final Fantasy VII, whatever bollocks.
It should.
It is.
It's Advent Children, and it's quite a good little movie.
No, it's not, because it features the worst ever character in all of computer gaming, Cloud. Oh.
Oh, you haven't played enough games.
Can I just say, like,
No.
I am so disillusioned by Final Fantasy, I can't even remember which one Cloud is.
Alright, now if this is, a little bit...
Yeah, big sword.
If that's too
number
broad
six.
for you, he's a, like, sort of pre-pubescent, angsty guy who's, got some shadows in his past, carries an oversized sword. Oh wait, that's every protagonist! Right? Why do they have to stop trailing jailbait in front of the screens as well?
No, it's true though. It's true, and like jailbait. I'm not entirely sure the female characters in Final Fantasy have faces because the camera is always drawn to their ass.
Right, and they in 13 they had a strange scenario which was also employed in Resident Evil 4. Right? They're saying, oh yeah, look at this character, we're going to put in some slight sexual subtone, but she's annoying as fuck! Right, we're going to give her the noise of a parrot on fire being molested by a tugboat.
Oh my god. And how does that sound, James? Give us an impression.
Help me, Leon! Right.
Brilliant.
Starfox, help me! That was Slippy, just so you know.
That was Slippy, yeah.
Brilliant. Alright, any more, or can we move on? I don't want you to call
as I said
this
last time,
Annoyances.
Suda51.
God. Why?
Because it's just loads of pretty colours, and oh my god, he's so edgy and crazy. It's Lady Gaga in video game form.
I absolutely agree. 200% agree.
Right? It's like, oh my god, it's a game covered in meat. I see what they did there. No, you didn't. It's nothing. They didn't know what they did there.
Right, okay, Ryan, why do you agree?
Right, Suda51, if you've ever played any of his games, mechanically, they are a fucking mess, right? Every time you pick up a Suda51 game and you think, this could be the one, you're like, I'm crazy as fuck me, I'm just about to ruin everything, and you're going to think, right. Like, I don't know, I mean, I played Killer 7, and it's what the fuck is that shit? Apparently in Japan, they had this hardback book that's like that thick, explaining the plot. Because like, if you've played the game, there is no plot. It's a load of abstract nonsense. These really cryptic sentences.
The plot isn't that cryptic.
Sorry?
The plot is Japan's trying to invade America. There's an assassin who's trying to stop them. That's it.
Yeah, but look at
that's the production team's
bullshit they coated with. Look at the bullshit they coated.
Yeah.
And like,
look when it came out.
Sorry?
We're talking about a game that was literally a
Shit.
rainbow amidst a sea of shit.
Oh, well, I think that game just smelt worse than all the other shit. I think that's all it was. It was just the same as all the other shit, it just smelt worse. I really don't like Killer 7 and I really don't like Suda51. I think he's very pretentious. I think no matter how much you say his games are genius, mechanically they are flawed as shit. And he just cannot make a good game, no matter how high his aspirations are. He is incapable. Sorry, it sounds like I said that really aggressively, but I respect other people. I respect your opinion on Suda51, but it angers me how much respect he gets when he's never made a very good game.
Alright,
Matthew, do you want to defend that?
Sorry?
And Matthew, do you want to defend that?
I don't know. I have a feeling that whatever I say will then be shouted at.
No, I want to hear it.
Alright, fair enough. The thing about Suda51 is he's one of the very few developers who actually tries something new. Granted, most of his stuff is mad, bonkers, somewhat stupid and puerile, but it's also so brilliantly done for all of those things. Killer 7 is a game which is absolutely off the wall. You cannot describe which genre or platform it is, but it's also really entertaining when you get into some of the elements of that game. Same thing with No More Heroes. It was okay, man has to go fight off 10 different assassins to become the most ranked assassin in America. It was weird. The characters were all fun and lovely design. The gameplay was fun. It kept everything new and different. It meant that we weren't playing the same platformer, the same first-person shooter. He gave us something which is different. Lollipop Chainsaw is probably one of his more tamer games. And that's a game where you get to run round as a cheerleader who's tearing zombies to pieces with a bright rainbow-coloured chainsaw.
With sparkles.
Exactly.
See, I enjoyed Lollipop Chainsaw to an extent, but then my problem with it was it was a score attack game, so the idea was that you got good at it, you got a good score, but the mechanics changed.
Yeah.
That's what I mean with Suda 51. The mechanics changed so frequently that he kind of undermined his own ethos, if you like. So this is a score attack game. This is a game you get good at. But how do you get good at a game that's constantly changing the rules on you? And this is what I mean. You're absolutely right. Suda 51, there is nothing like him out there. And considering how cookie cutter so many games are these days, to have something as different and as daring as Suda 51 is exactly what the industry needs. But it's a long time before he really releases a game, I think, that's genuinely good, because mechanically he doesn't really know very good game design. Aesthetically, he's fantastic, but mechanically, he just doesn't know good game design.
I think he knows some of them, but he just doesn't know which ones to run with. He just wants to try all of them, which is the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a big problem.
Yeah.
I agree there.
I just think to say that he's one of the shittier game developers, there is so much worse. He's really trying.
I'll give you that. There are worse, but I never understood the attention that he got, because he's far from brilliant in my books.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get that though. They get put on this pedestal, and you don't know why they're up there, and you just sat there frustrated, like, well, what the, So yeah, I agree. So, Matthew, what company or what industry annoys you most?
Well, I'm actually quite surprised that, because I was expecting to hear EA earlier.
Not really. Everybody gets annoyed by things differently.
Yeah, someone might mention it later. I'm not too sure, but I was going to stand up for EA. Which isn't something I really do that often, because there is a worse threat. There is a more dangerous foe, and that is Activision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Activision is the most poisonous game developer we have on the market at the minute. We have a developer which is sitting on top quality IP, brilliant talent, and is pissing it all away so that yearly they can make $1 billion in rapidly decreasing amount of days, just so that they can show off a new flashy first-person shooter game that's making them so much more money. I just had a little look on their website and things like that. They own the rights to Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Project Gotham Racing, the whole back catalogue of Sierra games, which has got some really cool strategy and things which you don't see that often, and they are sitting on it. They're not letting anyone touch it, they're not getting rid of it, they're just letting it rot. Spyro at the minute is selling plastic bloody toys. The original Skylanders game, it was started off as a Spyro game, then it became a Skylanders game. The sequel doesn't even have his bloody name on the box, and he's barely bloody in it.
And you played it?
It's managed. Yeah, it's okay gameplay, but they've managed to systematically make a Spyro game without Spyro in it.
And you have to spend about £1,000 to get every figurine.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
It is just absolute. Another one which really pissed me off was Prototype. Now, Prototype wasn't a terrible game. Bit of a crappy storyline, fun idea, not the best implemented, but it was trying. And it sold well. And the sequel sold well as well. But because the sequel didn't make millions and millions of game sales, despite the fact it was released in April and games aren't that big anyway, and it was a game that met favourable reviews, so it sold well enough for its month. It didn't sell well enough for the entirety of everything else that it compares it to, which is basically Call of Duty. So because of that, they really undermined, cut down the entire staff, and now they are having to work with side projects for other game companies.
I loved the first Prototype, but the second one I thought ruined it.
Yeah, that's fair. It was a lot more flawed, but it was still an okay game.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Yeah.
No, but it was the premise of it is, like, you play as Alex Merton in the first one, and then the second one it's like, I am now a Bond villain.
Yeah.
I will destroy all the people.
For narrative, it was kind of shit. Another thing which is like, Well, here's the thing about Activision. They've got all this stuff sitting on it, and they've closed down game company after game company just because they weren't doing the right things they wanted. Bizarre Creations has been around making games for ages. They made the Project Gotham Racing series. We will never see another Project Gotham Racing because they shut the studio down.
More importantly, we will never see another Fur Fighters.
We will never see another... Exactly!
Fur Fighters was brilliant, and we'll never see...
Awesome little... Yeah. It just grabs...
Gotham Racing was the first game I got 1,000 gamer score on. Shocking.
And it's
You'll never forget
gone.
your first.
No, you don't.
But despite all of these games, Fun Labs is still in business.
Yeah.
Fun Labs has been around since 1999. All they do is make Cabela hunting games.
Oh, Christ.
In terms of shitty, lazy games, I put Cabela hunting games on the top. But because they make shitty games at zero budget, and they sell well, because if you've got shit and someone buys it, you've made profit.
Prof shit.
I'd love to see all this, how that would work in marketing, to be honest. It's actually shit in this box, so here you go. Here's some toilet paper as well.
I would be less offended if they gave that to me when they gave me a Cabela hunting game.
Have you played the latest Cabela game?
No, I want to get the demo.
Winter survival bullshit. Now we've actually made it serious. The bears are trying to kill you.
I'm talking 2013.
I don't buy them. I don't buy anything that.
No,
does
no,
anything
I played the demo, right? And my jaw dropped at the pure mind fuckery of how stupid it was.
Have you, there's a Let's Play
ridiculous.
online of somebody doing Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2012, and it is like, if you look at like all the forums, it's one of the funniest Let's Plays I've ever watched, because there's just so many things wrong. There's a character that dies after a group of monkeys pelt him with rocks. And if you look, yeah, and if you look at his corpse in the game, it's blinking. He's lying there dead, but he's still blinking. They're so shoddily made.
I know.
I don't know who the target audience is.
After they die.
Rednecks.
I'm trying to figure out who the target audience is.
Gun crazed nuts who want to kill animals and wear their blood.
I'll say it again, rednecks.
The moral of the story is nature is evil.
We must shoot it.
We have to kill nature.
I think it's a tagline from South Park. It's coming for us.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's a squirrel. It's coming right for us.
Death.
Alright, moving on to Toby. A franchise or a company that annoys you the most?
I've got a couple. One of the main ones, I kind of don't really get it actually. Animal Crossing. I started playing the Wii version, and I've always heard like that it's really like an amazing game. You can do so much with it, and it's all about the community and whatnot. But I played the Wii version, and I just didn't know what I was doing. There's no like, you literally just walk around and fish, or you pick some flowers up and build a house with a daisy, or it's just so, I don't understand what you're supposed to do. There's no direction either. Like if you're new to it, it literally doesn't give you any help whatsoever. 'Cause I hadn't got the other ones. I started with the Wii one. I literally didn't know what I was doing. And I went online, still didn't know what I was doing.
With Animal Crossing, I think you're looking for something that isn't there, because the whole point of Animal Crossing is that there is no target. You literally move into this village, everyone's your best friend, and then you do...
Yeah. No, I know that, but
and then everyone hates you.
I think Toby's getting at is the fact that
that's what frustrates me, because I kind of need. I think I need to have a game where I need to not a point, but I need to get somewhere. I need to do something.
Animal
but
Crossing.
not on my own will.
Animal Crossing sold best on the handheld. Because it was a game that is designed for that sort of pick up and play gameplay. I actually picked up Animal Crossing off a friend. He was trying to get rid of it, and he sold it to me for £5, which I thought was reasonably cheap.
Yeah.
Then I found out it was because he was basically giving me a crack addiction.
Really?
It's a game where you'll pick it up, go, oh, I found some trees. I've got some fruit now. I'll start doing this. then you'll start up and get some fossils and start digging things. Then you'll be chasing insects. Then you'll be checking it daily to make sure that certain people don't leave you and so certain things don't die. It's a game which is horrible, but so brilliant as well.
Yeah, I do like. I've liked games like that before, but just with Animal Crossing, I couldn't get into it. It was just one that I
The console's the budget, because you have to sit it up and play it properly, and there's not that much content which makes it different from the handheld. The handheld is great to go about the place and use it on the go, which is why the 3DS one is probably going to consume my life again.
I might try the 3DS one, but as opposed to the Wii one, I would. It just frustrated me. I didn't want to.
Did you say you actually went online for help and they didn't know either?
No. I mean, I went. Like when
That'd
you
just be
go.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Got this image of all these people in Animal Crossing. Like, what are we doing here?
No, I went on. I can't even remember what it was actually.
Post to these people that don't know what the fuck to do. It'd be like going to a Call of Duty forum.
Yeah, I think that's one of them. The other one would be a Resident Evil, because they didn't used to annoy me, but the way it's gone is awful, because they're not how they started out, and they're supposed to be like scary and creepy and, like you were saying earlier, survival horror. But there's no survival instinct, because they're literally just hordes of, like, from 5 and 6, that's where it went downhill.
Are those
4
6, you get a campaign
4 was
that's
absolutely...
kind of back to its root, like it's based on a mansion, it's the Leon's campaign?
Actually, I'm being a bit weird here, because I haven't actually played 6. I played a demo, but I didn't like the demo.
Yeah, 6
That's
and
fair.
5,
I played. 6.
I really like...
Are
Yeah, and I love
Revelations
Leon's
in
character as
Reboot?
well. So in 4, he was my favourite. He's probably one of my favourite ones from the series, Leon. But yeah, number 4 was just it changed. Obviously, that was where it changed, but that changed for the better. And then it went to 5, and suddenly something went wrong, and it all just went action orientated, a bit Call of Duty.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I did not like
Resident
that.
Evil.
Although the thing that is good now is the 3DS version, Resident Evil Revelations, is coming out.
Which has been reviewed on the Gaming Rig.
Oh, good little plug.
Cha-ching.
I've completed and played that on the 3DS. That is definitely a return to its roots.
I would say it's the best.
They are
porting it over.
It was so good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
They're pulling it over to Xbox.
Yeah, I would definitely
PS3.
recommend it. And Wii U. Yeah. Don't get the Wii U.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really good game.
I like the demo. I had a 3DS, I got rid of it, but I remember thoroughly enjoying the demo for
The
it.
demo did it no justice.
No, yeah, the demo.
Yeah.
The graphics was better, the frame rate was better.
Oh,
Yeah, and
excellent.
when you played it on there, you would have thought it would have been a console game anyway. It was
Yeah.
that good enough for one. The length as well, the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
this
same
is
as a console game would be.
Well, so like 8 to 10 hours or so.
Yeah, and then you've got there's a raid mode, which is basically you play
Multiplayer.
2 missions, and there's I think there's 20 missions, and then there's different difficulties as usual.
Oh, excellent.
But that's like an extra 10 hours at least, 10, 15 hours on top of the actual game. And
Yeah,
then sorry, Joe, you go.
Oh, so it had a sort of co-op raid dungeon crawler mode, basically, right, for multiplayer, which I was really impressed to have on a handheld.
Yeah.
I hope they had the
I'm looking
mercenary
forward to the port.
spin-off in the console version, because I love the mercenary side.
That would be a first day buy, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that port.
Yeah.
I don't want it like a Silent Hill port. I don't want it, redone over. I don't want, things like added things like, to make it better. And I think in one of the HD copies they changed some of the controls or something. I read. I'm like, just port the fucking original game. That's what we want. That's what a port is. So as long as they don't change anything and just literally port it over from the game everybody's raving on about, I'm going to be happy with that.
Yeah, but if the people who I think they do need to change it, like they need to add a little bit more. Because if they don't change it, the people who've played the 3DS version don't get anything new. And then if you play in the console version, then
I don't think they're going down that route. I haven't read any more reports on it. I don't think they're going down that route. I think it might be just a straight port to kind of branch it out a bit more. But we'll see. Maybe stuff. Just don't remove any. Just don't
Yeah.
take anything away from it.
However,
Would you guys agree on that?
it is Capcom, so they will find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, but I hope they upscale it a bit because you're going to have a bit of a problem if you have a 3.5-inch screen spread out onto a 1080p.
Well, yeah, obviously. I don't
42-inch.
mean here's an option: have a 42-inch screen, and then have that as your screen. I don't mean that.
No, I mean they're going to have to upscale it because spread out, even though it looks amazing on the 3.5-inch screen, right? That might not necessarily look great on a 42-inch.
Yeah.
Obviously,
They are actually adding
a straight port. Come on, I don't actually take the game in the same. What is it? How big's the 3DS screen?
3.5-inch for standard.
And then drop that on my TV. I don't mean it that.
Depends on how lazy they're feeling.
Just don't fuck it up like you did Silent Hill HD. That's all I mean. Alright, we're coming to a close really, so I just want to end on one last question. Pet peeves or pet hates in video games. I kind of got one, I just wanted to get off my chest. So, Microsoft, hear me loud, hear me proud. Change the achievement fucking tone. Or even not change it, change the one where your friends sign in. Because currently, when you unlock achievement, it's the same one as your friend signs in. I've actually died because I thought, oh, brilliant, I've unlocked that achievement I've just spent an hour going for. And all it is my friend signing in. Is it so hard to have two different fucking achievement tones? Simple. One for sign-in, one for the achievement tone.
Just Bill Gates going, achievement, or friend.
Fine. All I love
Xbox friend.
I love that sound. It's just cemented. That sound, I think years ago, may even been in like a text tone or something. I want that sound. But
you
it's
honestly
an amazing sound to have. But I don't want it if Harry signs in as well. I'm sorry, I've not just spent that. I'm an achievement whore. I'm proud of it. I'll tell everybody they're the same. I play games.
Me too.
I play games for achievements. That's what I do. I enjoy it. I've got 75k on my, on my card, and I'm happy with that. And I'm going to thank you. Well, I don't spend 1 hour of my life hunting down an achievement, think I'm nearly there, and it's just fucking Barry or Harry signing in. By the way, I think that you don't Barry or Harry.
Maybe the fact that they share the same sound effect is Microsoft's way of saying that for gamers, having a friend is
brilliant. I don't know. That's my pet hate. That's something I want to change. That was my little bit of a rant. Change the fucking friend signing tone. Simple. Just don't have it the same as the achievement tone. Right. Again. Craig, your pet hate in gaming?
I don't really have one, to be honest. Apart from snipers on Call of Duty, they annoy me a bit, but can't help that, can you?
Sorry.
Fair dues. James?
Stat-based FPSs.
Huh?
Stat-based FPSs.
map-based.
Right, I'm talking your Borderlands and Dead Island.
Yeah.
Or even in a certain extent, you could say Elder Scrolls. Right?
Right.
I mean, I think Dead Island was one that really put it over the head for me. Because the whole point, zombie outbreak, your one rule, shoot them in the head, you win. Right? But I have a level 1 pistol, and I'm going up against a level 42 zombie, right? Which means he has a fucking lead-plated skull or something, because... Right? No, apparently I would actually do more damage with my level 62 whipper bow axe than I would with a fucking gun.
Yeah.
The best bit out of Dead Island was its trailer.
Yeah, and the rest of the game didn't live up to that. With the trailer, we got heartfelt, emotional family trauma, and with the actual game, we got who do you voodoo?
Who do you voodoo, bitch?
Yeah.
I would have loved the game if it wasn't stat-based, right? If they had just, instead of giving me one high-level zombie, given me a horde of zombies I can just, bang, bang, bang,
yeah,
that would have been great. I would have been immersive. but when you shoot a zombie and then above its head pops up 24 damage, it kind of takes you out of the situation, right? And
More like kill by numbers than anything, innit?
Right. Same for Skyrim. It sort of takes you out of the tone when you've shot a, I don't know, arrow right into a guy's face, stuck in his eyeball, and he's like, huh? Who was that? Stop, criminal scum! Like with his arrow wobbling around in his eyeball.
I think you mean an arrow to the knee.
Oh,
Why not?
oh,
You're doing so
the
well.
other reason I hate Skyrim, Alan. Just brought it up.
Oh, yeah, we were talking Skyrim. I have to come in sometime.
No,
Alright,
it didn't.
Matthew.
It never had to come in.
We could have
You
been
lowered the
better
tone.
than that.
Come on, Alan, we're bigger than that now.
We're really not. We're really not.
This isn't
We still push old
We may
people
not be
out.
bigger than that, but we
An
could
intervention.
feel better than that.
Okay, Matthew, your pet hate?
I've been playing a lot of free-to-play recently because I'm poor. So shitty free-to-play models.
Examples? Or just all of them?
I'm probably going to give this a review at some point. So, PlanetSide 2.
Oh, wow. Okay, what, you didn't enjoy it?
I can see why people would enjoy it, but when a game throws you in with no descriptions, no sort of base tutorial, just, oh, here you are, have fun. Okay, I guess got to shoot people. Where are the people? They're somewhere. So I spent about half an hour walking around because this game had decided not to tell me anything. Then when I managed to find someone, he shot me in the head and I was dead instantly and had to wait 30 seconds for a respawn. So, then later on in the game, I had a similar thing with your death by numbers, James.
Yeah.
I shot someone in the head. They were fine. They shot me in the head. It took my head off. Because they were a higher level than me and were using promotional gear,
Yeah.
it kind of screwed things up a bit. So, yeah, games which don't plan out. If they want to go free to play, that's fine. If you're not going to plan it out properly, why even bother? I think the worst one was DayZ. A friend of mine got that, and he just couldn't genuinely believe that it was that shitty.
Well,
It wasn't
as far as I heard, Daisy got taken off Steam eventually because it was deemed to actually...
It did. He got. Yeah, it was. The way that it gone through is that they'd advertised this massive sprawling world, loads of server features, loads of extra features, and none of it was in the game. It was just a shitty FPS game. It was a release of one of their other games. A lot of people have said it is. There's other similarities.
Yeah.
So you pay £15 to have a can of Coke and stand in a field somewhere. You either get eaten by a zombie, shot by a player, or if the gods smile upon you, you'll pick up a gun, then get eaten by a zombie or shot by a player.
It was kind of like being at a rave then.
Little bit.
Stood in a field with a can of Pepsi and somebody either bites your face or you get shot.
Oh, he's DC'd right now. He'll be back though. It's okay. So go on then, Ryan. Any pet hates?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're like that bad, but I think we need to get rid of cutscenes in games. I play games because I'm not a massive fan of films, really. I think games that have really good storylines, they'll convey the storyline without having to resort to wrestling control away from the player. Half-Life 2 is a fantastic example of that. There are very rarely occasions where you're out of control in Half-Life 2. As things are occurring, as things are happening, you're able to explore the environment, you're moving constantly, everything is always seen through the player's eyes. I mean, Bioshock is a fantastic example of doing it right. Bioshock did occasionally have cutscenes in where they wrestled control away from the players, but because the storyline was about a man who was being hypnotized or who was being controlled, it kind of made sense that the control was being wrestled away from you, because at any point during the game when you weren't controlling it, you were being hypnotized, you were being made to do these things.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, oh fuck off, everyone's played Bioshock. And yeah, and I just, I play a game now. I mean, the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance demo, I know a lot of people here have split opinions of it. I personally think the game's brilliant. The demo was a piece of shit, because compared to like the 30 seconds of gameplay you had, there were like half an hour of cutscenes, and it's like, it's Raiden! No one fucking likes him! I don't care that he's lost an eye, and I don't care that he's lost an eye, that his puppy's got leukemia, and his daughter has ran off with a black guy, and he doesn't like that because he might be a little bit racist. I don't really care about that. He's Raiden, and just let me play the bloody game.
I really hope all of that's happened to him.
I hope that's happened to him, actually. He gets to the point where he's like, oh my god, I can't go on. My eye, it hurts, and my daughter, she's
they fed us gunpowder!
One of our own, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I'd like to see them do that. Yeah, actually, you know what? Leave cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid, but try and...
Metal Gear Solid 4 was a whole fucking cutscene.
Sorry?
Metal Gear Solid 4 was a whole fucking cutscene.
Yeah, with
no
some
gameplay to that fucking game.
It may as well have had a sticker on the front saying "Now with gameplay." There's got so many cutscenes in it that you just have to control constantly.
Now with extra
Racism.
interactivity.
Just to clarify, I don't think games should have racism in. I was just using that. I know this is the first time I've met a lot of you, and they think, "Why is he bringing up racism? What is this man's motive?" I don't think racism is cool. However, I think if they chucked racism into a game featuring Raiden, I would be intrigued enough to watch the cutscenes.
They could have made.
They wrestle the controller away. Do you mean like the aspect with Resident Evil and its QuickTime events?
I mean, QuickTime events, they're even worse. That's the illusion of gameplay with a cutscene over the top. It's like you're watching a film and like somebody's just put a button on the footage and you're tapping that in order to watch the next 5 minutes of film. Like, they're not much better than cutscenes in all fairness. At least a cutscene has the decency to say, you're not touching a fucking button, whereas a QTE is just a movie that progresses provided your wanking hand is up to snuff and you can mash the A button as quickly as possible. Get rid of them both. QTEs, cutscenes. If you're that good a game developer, you don't rely on either of those to convey your story or your gameplay. Bam.
Have you ever played Peace Walker?
Peace Walker?
Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Is that the one where you like attach balloons to people and you kidnap them?
Yeah.
I liked Peace Walker, but it just went on for ages.
I mean, the issue I had with it was in the cutscenes. Right, it's like, alright, yep, story, press A!
Yeah, I know!
And you're like, what the fuck? No!
And the thing is, like, because they're like graphic novels, there's not a lot of action going on, and the only way they can convey that you've got to push a button is to have the images wobble a bit. It's like, everything's really static, everything's a graphic novel, and it's like, push A, and like Raiden's head is wobbling. It's like, oh, it's Raiden's head! Better push a button! That's all the real life warning you get, and it's like, don't fuck about. I've sat doing nothing for 15 minutes. I've put the pad down because you're Metal Gear Solid, and you're going to make me sit here for half an hour. Don't expect me to suddenly like get an erection on command and like bend to your whim, Konami, you Nazi.
Wow. Good game though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Right, but Rising could have been infinitely better if they just said, "It's Grey Fox."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, suddenly I'm not filled with hatred.
Yeah.
Are you not a fan of Raiden then?
No one's a fan of Raiden. Don't pretend.
Raiden's not a fan of Raiden.
I think we have a
It
topic.
was raining the day he was born.
We have a topic for next week. Protagonists.
Oh yes.
He's not a
We good for
protagonist.
He's not a protagonist. He's a bobblehead.
Press A.
I am the lightning. Shut up!
Alright, Toby. Pet hate in a video game?
I don't think I really have many either, apart from the sometimes stupid camera angles when games are stupid camera angles and you can't move them. That's the most annoyingest thing, but
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I said that earlier.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog
Did you say
doesn't
Sonic the Hedgehog, a 2D
I didn't.
game,
I was thinking,
has issues with camera angles?
Yeah, I played it years ago.
the new ones. There's 3D ones.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking you meant 2D. I was like, what
No, the
camera?
new ones.
Let's not talk about the new
Shit.
Sonics.
I was going to say,
fuck have you
camera
done
angles
to
are the
Sonic?
least of the new Sonic's problems.
Don't you
Yeah,
mean
they
the
shouldn't
new
be
Final
3D.
Fantasy games, as Team Sonic are trying to make?
Although,
It was actually an RPG of Sonic, weren't there, once?
yeah, Sonic Chronicles. That was actually really good. It was on the DS.
That was made by a relatively respectable company, though. That was BioWare, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad game. That was actually pretty good. I enjoyed
No, I
it.
didn't agree. I straight with that game and turned it off.
Really, I think you
the
just have
best
to. I think you just have to go in there with an open mind, really,
Yeah.
and then.
It's
It's not-
Sonic. It's
not-
the most open-minded game in the world. I don't expect to then, fucking from here to Timbuktu, doing missions and going off to Lidl's and fucking
Yeah, no, but that
getting
Sonic,
to
that
KFC and
that
saving
Sonic,
this princess, and
Yeah,
I
but
just
that
want to
Sonic-
collect rings and try not to fucking die.
yeah, well then
Simple.
that Sonic game wasn't advertised as that type of game, so just don't
Yeah.
buy it. It was never advertised as a game, as a traditional Sonic game.
It's got to be
Yeah,
a
well-
reason they haven't made
They do.
any, and they went back to their 2D roots, though, isn't it?
The whole reason Sonic hasn't been successful now is because they've been too afraid to make the kind of changes like that RPG. Like, they're too afraid to turn around and say, yeah, you know what, 3D doesn't work. We need to do something different with Sonic. If anything,
Go back to side scrolling and just upscale it.
They did do a recent
Sonic
side scrolling.
very good.
They did.
I thought you were going to insult
the
it then.
episode things. They were like games but in episodes. So they were like the old side-scrolling Sonic, but with up-to-date visuals, basically.
They were okay.
They were new games, but yeah, they were like in episode form. They're alright, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Sonic
Sonic's kind of the same. It's not really moved much. It's like Mario and stuff. It only changes slightly, and it's really the same game. You just tweaks a little bit
Yeah.
here and there.
All right then, guys. I think we can kind of leave it there. We'll put it out to vote next week. But I think a topic on protagonists, the good, the bad, and the ugly, could be a way to go. Again, if you guys are free or fans around, you guys want to join us as well. As I say, there's 10 slots here, so probably never fill all 10 to be honest. But we'll definitely keep fans in mind. And we're doing them each week anyway, so I mean generally it's a plug really for our site as well, so come along, www.TheGamingRigUK. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter as well in the comment, we'll give you annotations in the comments down below. Generally we're always looking for new fans, we're built on a community, so we always want fan reviews, articles, everything like that. We will upload all your work. Obviously credit yourself, you can then link back in. We've got plans for a lot more, as I said at the beginning of the video. We've got competitions every couple of weeks. We've got various things like this week, I think, like Craig said, 4 kg worth of Haribo on the go. Not a bad thing. Last week we had Far Cry 3, probably not the best game of 2012, but definitely a contender for sleeper hit. Definitely a contender for sleeper hit, and fan won that as well. So yeah, we try and give back to the fans. Come check us out, www.TheGamingRig.co.uk. Anybody else like to finish on anything?
Yeah. That is all.
You beat me to it.
Craig, you obviously come along tonight. I hope you had some fun. You're welcome to join
Yeah,
us
I did.
anytime.
Thanks for inviting me.
And Toby, likewise, you're welcome.
Everyone who
anytime.
watches this should check out the Gaming Rig because it's a really cool site.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers.
All right then.
And nice to meet a lot of you guys as well. I know this is the first time I've spoken to some of you, so as well as the fans as well, it's good to meet regular contributors. I know I haven't been doing much on the site because I'm moving house, but and I've just started a new job as well. But I look forward to more of these meetings again. It's been great being with you all.
Always a pleasure.
Very fun
Keep
night.
up the hard work, guys. See you later.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
What they say.